Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, in a meeting with resident electoral commissioners REX on Thursday in Abuja, emphatically made it clear to political parties that all party primaries for 2023 end on Thursday, 9th of June, while the nomination of candidates commence on June 10th. This means for the next 1 week, all political parties are expected to have submitted their list of candidates for national elections, presidential, vice presidential, senatorial, and House of Representatives, latest by Friday, 17th of June. The chairman, however, advised political parties not to wait till the last day before uploading of their nominations into the Commission's dedicated portal, as the deadline remains sacrosanct. As it is, the 18 political parties may have some window to possibly adjust their standard bearers, assuming such was the case. Well, extension of deadlines from time to time may not necessarily be an issue of discussion, but the concern is the implications that may abound to it when it happens more than once. Our guests are here with me as we get set to discuss the extension of INEC deadlines for the submission of party standard bearers not later than next Friday, 17th of June, 2023. My name is Lydia Odijochi. I'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Joining me in the studio is engineer Yabagi Yusuf Sani, National Chairman, Action Democratic Party ADP, and National Chairman IPAC 2023 ADP Presidential Candidate. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you for joining us. Also with us in the studio is our regular and always on ground to render his voice whenever we call on him, is Jide Ojo, a public affairs analyst. Welcome to the program. Always a pleasure having you.
Same here. Good evening, Nigerians. It's a pleasure to be on this program.
All right. Let's begin with the topic itself. Now, what do you think might have been the cause for the extension in the first place?
Okay, the one already granted by INEC?
Yes.
Well, it wasn't an extension as such, really, if you look at it critically. What happened was that parties discovered that, and also INEC too, discovered that there is a period which nothing was actually going to happen. That is from the 3rd to the, as the case is now, to the 9th that we're talking about now. Before that time, the primaries were supposed to have been concluded by the 3rd, isn't it?
Yes.
But we discovered that you have this 6 days window, that nothing was going to happen. And given the magnitude of the work that the parties were supposed to do, which would have ended, on the 3rd of June. And the fact that, you see, that exercise is the most important in all the activities of INEC. Primaries, how you select your candidates, so that going forward you will be able to present to Nigerians somebody that can really deliver, on the promises that is the dividends of democracy for Nigerians. And if you look at what has been happening, is that people that are normally presented by the parties, either the parties did not do due diligence, simply because at that time, before this electoral law 2022, there was no accountability, so to speak, on the part of the parties. But this electoral law has introduced accountability, that if you present somebody whose papers are not genuine, the parties are going to be fined at least 10 million naira, and the national chairman and also the secretary of the party will also have a case, in the court. So this made most, parties to become extra cautious. Yes. that you do not get yourself involved in something that you didn't bargain for. So that's why, at the IPAC level, which is the umbrella body of all the political parties, 18 registered political parties, we now came together and said, okay, not only because of this accountability issue, but to also afford us opportunity of doing this very important, activity, very well, so that end of the day, we are satisfied that the person we are putting forward is the person that will represent us well, and then we'll be able to do what Nigerians are expecting from democracy itself. So that is why at IPAC we now came together and we wrote to INEC that we would like us to explore the possibility of not ending the primaries on the 3rd, but take it to the 9th. So that 6 days, that is the days between the 3rd and the 6th, will now be utilized for us to do our job properly. So there wasn't an extension. It didn't affect the actual timetable itself, which says that you end, because this period is there maybe for parties to clean up. We say, okay, if we were to clean up, let us clean up in the proper sense of it. Let's do the due diligence, clean up before we submit to you that this is our candidate. Instead of these days. So there wasn't any really the actual extension, in the actual sense of it.
Okay, now Jide, now this development, do you see it as a plus with which they need to judiciously utilize, or better still, do you think they would be expecting another extension, so to speak?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Good evening, Nigerians, once again. Like the IPAC chairman has rightly said, whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. And, human beings are rational beings. Even though initially on 2 different occasions, INEC said, no, we are not going to grant this. But when a plausible argument was put forward, INEC was able to look at it and said, okay, and as long as this will not affect the schedule of activities in any way and will not cause the postponement of the 2023 election, then it's granted. But it is not true that there is that activities that are supposed to take place between 10th and 17th is an extension. No, it's not an extension. It's the outlined schedule of activities that have been there, that within 10th from 9 a.m. of today, 10th of June, to 6 p.m. of 17th of June, all the 18 registered political parties will have to upload their nominees on the dedicated portal of INEC. So the extension like the chairman IPAC ADP said, there was no extension, there was just minor adjustment on when the parties can hold primaries and it will still be valid. In law, very little things that we take for granted matters in law. If INEC has not conceded to IPAC and the 18 political parties, and any of the parties decide to go and use those dates on its own without approval from INEC and say, oh, we were so choked up, so we decided to have our own primaries on the 4th of June, it will be invalid. It will be invalid according to section 84 subsection 13 of the Electoral Act. Whatever you did, even as long as you don't follow due process in the conduct of your primary, it becomes invalid and you are robbed of the opportunity to nominate. But the good news is that you could see that even up to yesterday, there are some parties that held their primaries yesterday, which gave them opportunity to have a more relaxed atmosphere to do what they are to do. And we cannot overemphasize the fact that political parties are actually the reason they tell for the existence of INEC. If they are not there, unless you want to conduct zero-party system, which the military conducted for local government election in 1998. Otherwise, in our democracy, nobody can run as an independent. The last time we had people running as independent was in December 1998, when there was a zero-party contest to local governments.
Okay. Now the primaries are done with. How would you describe them so far, the exercise so far, across?
Yeah, no, I was going to add also, like Jide said, you see, it's not only the from 9th to the 17th that really INEC has this latitude. They also have, but this time around, it's for the governorship, from the 1st of July to 15th of July, you know, for submission of this. So you can see now, from that 3rd that we should have finished our something, up to July, you know, 15th, it would have been just sending the papers of what you did, you know, and then we say, okay, why chalked? You know, this time is too tight. So I just want to add that we still have another one, you know, after this 10th for presidential and Senate and House of Reps. You now have governorship papers for the governorship and the assembly that will be uploaded from the 1st of July to 15th of July. You know, so there's that, you know, window. So a lot of things, you know, could be done within that period. So now you asked, your question was what is our take?
Yes.
From the
so far the primaries across the board.
Yeah. Well, I think to us it's really celebration of democracy. You know, that's the way I see it, because it afforded, you know, people to come together and then you know, interact and do things that politicians do when they come together and showcase their parties to Nigerians and to the whole world that yes, we are a political party and we are here to ensure that we present, you know, somebody that can really deliver the dividends of democracy, you know, for Nigerians. It was a beautiful, you know, exercise as far as we are concerned.
Okay, we'll talk some more, but after this time out. Don't go away. Let's feel the pulse of the people on the streets as to their views with our correspondent Olusheye Adiagbo.
Yes, I would say that it is right, because it's their own time. Do you understand? So we, the honorary people, we cannot, there's nothing we can do. Rather is to follow. They are the one that leading us, so we have to follow them. So whatever, if they release it, fine. If they do not release it and postpone it, good. If they reach that day again and still postpone it again, we will still accept it.
We like to do things at the dying minute, and it's not proper. Submission of names should not be a problem. It should have been something that they should have planned before now. So for them to wait up to this moment, leading to the postponement of the submission, I think, my own opinion, they are hiding something.
If you come out like this presidential issue, this running mate and all these things supposed to be well prepared before you comes into to run for the presidential race. You're supposed to know you are running mate, and based on this, the form, the moment is given to you, you're supposed to meet up with the deadline. But because they are not sure, they are not confident of themselves, they have a different motive. They are looking at the other political party. What will be their own?
I received it wholeheartedly, and I'm gladdened, because whatever government is doing, they have their own reason for doing everything. For security reasons, so many other reasons for doing that. They have to sit down and take opinion. It's not a one-man decision. Maybe they might have sat, think of what to do about, way forward. That's why, maybe that's why they decided to, defer the date.
Welcome back. It's Nigeria Today, and we have heard what Nigerians have to say concerning this topic this evening. Now, Jide, I heard you reacting to some of the respondents there on the street. Let's hear them.
Well, they are not just properly informed about the electoral process, and I won't blame them. They are ordinary citizens who do not know the procedures and processes of nominating a candidate. And that's why programs like this are very important. Also media, writing of opinion article, editorial, and all of that. Because unless, it is he who wears the shoes that knows where it pinches. As Olaji has emerged as the presidential candidate of ADP, assuming it's somebody from southern Nigeria that wins, and you already have somebody from southern Nigeria as running mate written down, it won't work. You have to do geo-balancing. Up until 2 days ago, nobody was sure who was going to win APC presidential ticket. We know what happened on Monday when they said, he's the president of the Senate. If the president of the Senate had won, will he have picked another person from southern Nigeria? Those balancing and all of that, and there are a number of factors you take into consideration in choosing running mates. It's not just about this one is Igbo, this one is Hausa, is from North, is from South. No, you also have to look at somebody with electoral value, who will add value to your aspiration. Because if you, as the principal, you are running, and you go and bring somebody who will be a liability, who doesn't win, who cannot win a councillorship as a running mate in a presidential election, that means where he came from is already a liability to you in that. Because people have to look at, okay, it's like marrying a wife. Maybe in those days of our parents, they will marry a wife for you and say, just go, love will develop later. But in contemporary times, when you want to marry, you are looking for somebody who will complement you. Somebody who will be there to say, okay, I can help you in doing this and that. So quite a number of considerations are involved in choosing a running mate, and that's why until when a standard bearer has emerged, you cannot really know who will be the running mate for that person. So it's a painstaking decision. The party have to sit down, the candidates has to sit down, consultations across so many wide spectrum. For instance, as you are doing geopolitical balancing, you are also doing religious balancing, you are also doing other
gender balance.
Gender balance is also there. There you are. So many considerations. You are also looking at somebody who will not be saying, okay, give me money to go and campaign for you, because you are part of the train. So you are looking at somebody who also will be able to use his own resources to also do his own campaign to help you achieve the victory at the poll. So that's why we need a lot of sensitization. And what we need goes beyond voter education. We need political education. Political education. For instance, how does a winner emerge in a presidential election? Is it just by having one more vote above others? No. There are processes and procedures. How does INEC declare an election inconclusive? On what basis? Those are not voter education issues. It's not just come out and vote, just collect your PVC and come and complain. No. Because we know that there have been issues in the past where people who do not know how a winner emerges in an election will claim that the election management body has rigged the election in favor or against certain candidates, when such elections are either declared inconclusive or that the person whom you think won, because somebody can win in your unit, in your ward, in your local government, even in your state, even in your zone, and lose
up there.
Because the result is an aggregation of results. In 2023, it's going to be aggregation of results of 176,846 polling units. Aggregation. And it's uploaded from polling unit to ward, from ward to local government, from local government to state, from state to the federal. Look at those layers. So people need to be educated that, oh, okay, so if somebody even wins in my state, it doesn't necessarily mean he's the next president of Nigeria.
All right. Now, prior to the June 3rd deadline, requests for change by some of the parties we meet, does this mean that the INEC is envisaging some lapses or challenges for the parties, going by the earlier request for more grace to get their acts together?
Okay, did I get the question right? That
that is the priority, the June 3rd deadline, request for this change by some parties. Is it because INEC was envisaging that there might be lapses?
Not at all, not at all. INEC was working on our request.
Okay.
You know, not that they expected that something like that would happen, because the schedule, that's the timetable that we have, supposed to be religiously followed because of the constitutional implications of adjustment in that schedule. You know, and then if it affects the constitutional, the dictates on when what should happen, then it may nullify the whole elections. If care is not taken. So that's why I'm sure INEC brought out the timetable after satisfying themselves that this is doable, and indeed it's doable. But what we discovered is that there's a slack, of those days, which we believe could be used, to now achieve something more substantial, in order to enhance, the process itself and the result of what we are trying to do. That's what happened. And you were talking about the choice of running mate.
Yes.
In Nigeria, we have a lot of dichotomies, which has introduced, certain sentiments that really, if you don't address them properly, it will affect you, end of the day, no matter how competent you are, still you have to address those sentiments. Like your running mate, like Jide has said, is he of the same faith with you? Is he of the same region with you? Like you said, it's the same gender, and that has not come to be. but it's getting, we're getting there. We're getting there because women are now coming really in very forcefully, to ensure that they are given their space.
We had one yesterday.
So I think the choice of running mate, apart from somebody who is competent, because competence is also a very important yardstick that you look at, because the president is supposed to be a very, very busy person that's supposed to supervise the entire spectrum of governance. And then here you want to have your running mate that can effectively, act for you whenever, for any reason you are not there, or even when you are there, that he can cover for you areas that require extra, competence and time. So I think we shall get there. If you look at, maybe these things are not of any importance when you look at other climes like USA, but even there, they too they tend to address certain sentiments, that because politics, after all, is about 99% of it is sentiment.
Yes.
So
we're looking forward to your own running.
Yes. That is coming.
Maybe you coming one.
Maybe yes, to gender and all the other things that are there.
Right. I would really like to take my time to appreciate my guests on the program today, Engineer Yabagi Yusuf Sani, National Chairman, Action Democratic Party ADP, and National Chairman IPAC 2023 ADP presidential candidate. Thank you for your time with us.
Thank you, Lydia, for having me.
Wish you luck.
Thank you.
And a special thanks to one of our own, friend of the house, Jide Ojo, public affairs analyst. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
And that's it on the program. Thanks for always keeping a date with us. And don't forget, Nigeria Today is live weekends at 7:30 p.m., weekdays at 7:30 p.m. in the evenings. You can also watch this and other episodes at www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. I am Lydia Odijiochi. Have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.